three economists widely anticipated a recession in the United States of America. This as the Federal Reserve raised its interest rates to combat high inflation.
Do we have a housing crisis in America, and do we see it in an inflation in housing that's 30% of the statistic we're going to see in 20?
You know, you gotta do something for me.
You gotta put it in a ticket.
No. I'd like to keep this one out of the database.
Your life seems mundane and you feel like you're stagnating, doing the same things over and over again, and you keep getting the same results. This is because you are living life in the comfort zone. It's time to break through this comfort zone, find new paths, and start to improve your life. Long story short, you need to start seeking discomfort. Now, the comfort zone is a place us humans love because it provides a sense of security and familiarity. Exploring unfamiliar territories or acquiring new skills demands cognitive effort. The brain tends to conserve energy by sticking to familiar thought patterns or skill sets that you already have, making it less inclined to venture off into the unknown. But for me, seeking discomfort and getting outside of my comfort zone has opened up a whole new world. So here are some things I learned about the comfort zone. Number one, the comfort zone isn't necessarily even a bad thing. Now, this probably isn't going to make sense right off the bat because I was just talking about how you have to get outside the comfort zone and how the comfort zone is probably ruining your life. But let me break it down. If for you the comfort zone is watching Netflix and drinking Mountain Dew all day, then it's probably time to leave that comfort zone and explore new avenues of life. But having strong daily habits should not be mistaken for being in a comfort zone. If you have a daily routine of going to the gym, getting out and getting sunlight, doing meditation practices, and eating healthy, this is technically what's going to become your comfort zone after doing that for a while. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing. You shouldn't just bail on these type of activities to get outside of your comfort zone and start doing some other things that are actually going to hurt you more in the long run. I notice this a lot when I'm traveling, especially because when you're traveling, you're pretty much outside of your comfort zone completely. You're staying at a new place, you're meeting new people, especially if you're traveling solo. You could possibly be in a whole different state or country, thousands of miles away, experiencing new cultures, weathers, foods, etc. You are the most out of your comfort zone that you probably ever will be anywhere else, which is what makes traveling so great. But one thing I notice a lot when I'm traveling is also I start to feel like that sense of wanting to get back to my daily routine. And not having that daily routine on vacation kind of makes it a little bit more challenging. Doing things like getting up at a certain time or going to work out or eating certain foods. I notice those are the things I miss the most, especially near the end of vacation. I'm ready to just go home and get back into my routine. I think that shows you what is a good comfort zone and what's a bad comfort zone. The things like you miss when you're out in the elements of seeking discomfort are probably the things that you should continue to do on a day-to-day basis regardless. When you're trying to get outside of your comfort zone and experience new things, don't forget about your daily habits that help you become a better version of yourself. Number two, the comfort zone is hard to escape, but once you do it, it becomes easy. I reckon that the comfort zone is something like an amusement park. If you haven't been to an amusement park in a while, that first few rides are gonna be very challenging. Like you're gonna feel a sense of anxiousness when you're in line waiting for that ride because you know what's gonna come. You know you'll be fine at the end, but you know during that ride that you're gonna feel that hit in the bottom of your stomach and you don't really wanna face that fear. Now this happened to me recently, actually over the summer. I went to an amusement park for the first time since probably I was in middle school or high school. It's been a long time. And I remember just like waiting in line. I was scared. But the interesting thing I've started to figure out is it's actually not the very first time that you're the most scared. That very first ride is kind of like getting outside your comfort zone for the first time as well, where you don't really know what to expect, so you don't even know what you're scared of. Like I said, I hadn't been to an amusement park in so long, so yeah, I knew it was going to be kind of scary to go on roller coasters and rides and things like that, but I kind of honestly forgot how bad it would be. So that first ride, I was kind of just like, okay, yeah, I'll feel something, but I don't really know what yet. So that's kind of what it's like to face your fears and get outside your comfort zone the first time. You really don't know what to expect, so you're actually a little bit more relaxed and more willing to get outside of your comfort zone. I think It's easier to get outside of your comfort zone and try something new for the first time. But the second time is the most challenging because you already know what's going to be on the other side. You know that it's going to be this scary knot in your stomach. You know when you're at the top, the roller coaster is going to stop and you're going to wait there looking over, seeing everybody, and then you're going to go down really fast, and that's when you're going to feel the most fear. The key, I think, is to get over it that second time. Once you start doing it over and over again, you'll start to feel less and less scared. But don't mistake doing something for the first time as that you're over your fear. Make sure you're doing it more than one time. That way you can build up that tolerance to being outside of your comfort zone. Another thing that I think will help you is doing small things to help you get outside of your comfort zone. One theory that I definitely recommend is called eating the frog theory. What eating the frog theory means is you should do the hardest task of your day right in the morning, get it out of the way. That way the rest of your day can be much easier in comparison to whatever that hard task is. So getting outside of your comfort zone is something you can do very early in the morning, the first thing you do, and I think it'll motivate you and it'll inspire you for the rest of the day to do those tasks that you deem hard. An example of this could be taking a cold shower. That could be something you're doing to get outside of your comfort zone. If you do this first thing in the morning, whatever you have going on in the rest of the day is probably going to be easier than that. So you can kind of hone back into your mentality of, oh, this was my mentality this morning. I just went and did it. I just went in the shower and took a cold shower. I didn't think about it. So now when I'm going to go talk to this stranger at XYZ place, I'm going to use that same mentality I had this morning in the cold shower, which is just walking into the cold shower and getting it over with. Or maybe you have a big presentation. Your mentality is like, okay, this morning I took a cold shower. I knew how my mindset was to do that very hard task. Now, for this presentation, I'm going to use the same mentality and I'm going to use the same mindset to kill this presentation. This can be a task such as that, like eating the frog in the morning, or it can be other small tasks. Maybe when you're at the grocery store, rather than going to the self-checkout line, you go to the checkout line with an actual person and you strike up a small conversation with that person. This is a low pressure situation where you can just strike up a conversation with somebody and kind of practice your social skills. It's a great way to do it. Again, it's the small things that you can do on a day-to-day basis that will help you get outside of your comfort zone. I was watching this YouTube video recently and the guy said something along the lines of, an eagle will never be able to learn how to fly if it's surrounded by turkeys its whole life. Basically, if you're going to be surrounded around people who are not really ones to, adventure out or take risks or really step outside of their comfort zone, you're never going to see the problem with staying in your comfort zone your whole life. You're going to act like that's completely normal and that's what's good for you. But if you're watching this video, you know that you want to step outside of your comfort zone. You know that there's something better for you, but you can only achieve it once you get outside of your little bubble. Try to meet and be around people who maybe have crazy ideas or have like crazy aspirations. And it doesn't even have to be the same stuff as you. Maybe someone's a really big entrepreneur and maybe they haven't achieved that success yet, but maybe when they tell you stories about, hey, I cold called this many people today and I went and knocked on this guy's door and tried to start networking with him, or I went to this thing and did this. Maybe that's not what your direct line of work or whatever you're looking to do is, but I think it can very much motivate you, like, oh, this person is getting over their fear of talking by just going to approach people and trying to network. That reminds me of this other fear I have, and this motivates me to step outside of my comfort zone. Another thing is failing is completely okay. Stepping outside of your comfort zone is a challenging thing. There's a reason it's called stepping outside of your comfort zone. I mean, the name says it all. You're leaving your comfort zone. You're bound to fail. And I don't think failure is a bad thing. Like I said, don't push yourself too hard. Like, there's a lot of things where people will take unnecessary risks just because they feel that they need to step outside of their comfort zone. Do what you feel is safe for you and right for you. Definitely push yourself and motivate yourself to do something bigger and better, but don't do things that are way outside of your reach. If you're walking every day for 30 minutes, don't go try to sign up for a marathon the next day. That could possibly be doing irreparable damage to your body. Start slow, but still step outside your comfort zone. Like I said, maybe run for 20 minutes instead of walking for 30 minutes. Another thing that I definitely recommend is try to get outside perspectives. This is something that really helped me. I recently was in a different country and I ran into a high school friend that I hadn't seen in about 4 years. And it was really interesting to get his perspective on how I've grown as a person, because they remember me from high school. I was this really shy, introverted kid who didn't really talk to many people. And then they kind of told me now, it's like, wow, you're not afraid to talk to anybody. You'll go up to anybody and have a conversation with them, and they usually end up like really liking you and enjoy talking to you. That's crazy, because I remember you when you were not like that. And it's really, that kind of really put me in perspective because, you know, obviously I've been working on these things for a few years now, but you never really get that chance to like look at yourself from an outside perspective. So when somebody else brings it up, it really kind of cements like, oh yeah, I'm on the right path. I am on the path to success. I'm actually achieving things. And it can be hard to tell that when you're just doing it on your own. So if it's possible, try to find outside perspectives on how things are going for you. When I look back at some of my biggest growth moments, it's when I've stepped outside of my comfort zone. And this is why you must seek discomfort and step outside of your comfort zone. That's it for this video. Let me know what your thoughts are. What are you gonna do in 2024 to step outside of your comfort zone? Let me know in the comment section below. If you got this far, I appreciate you guys, and until next time, I'm out. Peace.